So, I was weighing out some Remingtons here, and they started creeping up higher than I recall them ever weighing. Started making more cups of 11 grains. Usually, they're not too far into the 10 grains. So, it's something I never realized before, but I'll have to keep track of going forward. I looked down inside some, and I don't know if you can see this. See that ridge in there? That should not be there. I noticed most of them have a little bulge when you see that. That shouldn't be there. So I cut one open, and that little ridge is another head. It's a Nagila head inside a Remington. So that was a piece of the Remington that shaved. I threw it off by about 1.4 grains. Yeah. Let's see about what this thing weighed. What it would have weighed was 9.7. Ended up weighing was 11.1. Big difference. So I looked through all the 11, and there's that ridge. Sometimes it blends pretty good. It breaks off smooth, but when you see that jaggedy, it's pretty telltale. And then, like I said, most of them, there's a little bulge here, which shouldn't be there. Okay, something I didn't mention was that heavy out of spec isn't necessarily a head jammed inside. Sometimes it's a different head stamp, like a heavy Federal, Super X, that kind of thing. Doing Remingtons here, ran into a couple that were like 10-4. Not the norm. And look inside, they look nice. Flip them over, they're Federals. They're heavy Federals. So, throw them in the right bucket. When sorting, mistakes are made. Sometimes you grab the wrong one. It happens, fairly often. Well, not all that often, but it happens. So be aware of that. Check both ends, inside and out. If inside looks fine, flip it over, because that's very possibly what it could be. But when you hit an 11 something, chances are extremely high. Could be 100%. That's the head jammed inside. Now, if it's a lower weight one, you're probably not going to notice it because it's just going to blend. Like I said, I'm going to have to keep track of this going forward. Basically what happens is you're derimming them, you have a blowout, and the head jams into the one in top, ahead of it, because these don't just fly out of there. Well, if you got it set wrong, they do, but they don't. They're still stuck in the die. The next one pushes it out. It should end up about a 1/4 inch inside the die to the mouth. If it's not that far in, you end up with problems. I'll point this out now because I ran into it. My die's got a little out. What happens is when this is pushing it up, it's not supported, so it starts going inside, flares this out a bit more, and puts a dimpled ring around this. And if it blows out, when that was happening, I was experiencing more failures. And so when that happens, what will happen is when it comes out of the die, they'll be stuck together like this. They'll stack and they'll just keep going to the sky. Stop. and adjust your die. It means you're way off. Things are not good. So hopefully this will help, well, maybe new and old swagers, because it only took me 4.5 years to figure this out. It just never dawned on me. I'd only seen a few in the 11 grain range. Maybe this is what happened. I have to look in those bags and see. One of them that had that was 10.9. But like I say, if it's 9.2, say, that's going to put it up about 9.4, 9.5. You're not going to notice. So, thing is, if you have a Derim failure, look at the one that was before it. This may have happened to it. Sometimes they just come out in the die and you find them, but not always. So, yeah, this is what's happening. This with my dies, it takes three more to bring that one to the top. One to eject it from the actual sizing part, but then, well, this is the sizing end. It should, when it's fully done, it should be about 1/4 inch in there. But when it pops out, it's in this larger, and it takes 3 to bring that all the way up from. So you inspect, you think something ain't gonna buff out, a wrinkle or something. You run 3 more, and that's the one. At least with my dies. So yeah, this. Wow, finally got that revelation. Oh boy. Wonder how many times that's happened throughout. Because at one point in here I was, they were stacking out. Didn't think anything of it. And until it really dawned on me that it was deforming things. And I was having more, head separation, so to speak. Right there, basically, we bring the rim up. You rim it, you just fail and jam it up. Oh boy. All things that could be said about that, right? Yeah. So, something to be aware of. Simplify things in the future. Keep you out of trouble, because, even though that little bit of thickness is moving your lead forward in your case and decreasing the capacity. So instead of getting a flush or slightly hollowed point, you're going to get a little bit of a soft point probably. Well, it's going to displace about 1.5 grains of lead is what it's going to do. So yeah, something to be aware of. Something I just discovered after all this time. So, leave me that. Have a good one. God bless. See you.